Good morning, sir.
Please come.
Good morning, sir.
Annu?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, Annu, tell the panel about yourself, your academic qualifications, and your any work experience, if any, and your main hobbies.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have done graduation in BA program from Kanaudia College, which is affiliated to Rajasthan University. Then after that, I have done my MA in Economics as non-collegiate student, again from University of Rajasthan. And I have learned Kathak for 1 year. And my regular hobbies are Kathak and jogging.
So, Annu, you are from Jaipur.
Yes, sir.
You know, the Rose Pink City and the Heritage City of
Yes, sir.
UNESCO famous. Now, tell me why foreign tourists come to Rajasthan so much?
Sir, because Rajasthan is a very culturally rich state, and it do have its historical significance, which could be traced from its forts, temples, and the other thing is it has diversity in its geographical division as well. So the tourists come to visit forts, lakes as well, and the Thar Desert.
Thar Desert.
Yes, sir.
So but Thar Desert, most of the foreign tourists, they go to the Golden Triangle. You know what Golden Triangle is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Golden Triangle doesn't have Jaisalmer.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, I was just telling that beside Jaipur, there are other places in Rajasthan as well. And Golden Triangle is also famous for tourist spot, Delhi, Agra and Jaipur.
Now tell me, Annu, you have heard about IPCC report?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? On the climate change?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't want to have the details of the report.
Yes,
I just want to know, you're from Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
Now, basically climate change is all about global warming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Rajasthan being a desert state, a hot state already,
yes, sir.
What effects you think would be seen in Rajasthan, in terms of agriculture?
Yes, sir.
And in terms of drinking water? Just imagine a situation where temperatures have gone up by another 1.5 degree or 2 degrees,
yes,
and
sir.
then you have Rajasthan in front of you. What do you see?
Sir, Rajasthan is already Rajasthan is the hottest state of India in terms of temperature. If as predicted by IPCC, if the temperature range crosses 1.5 degrees Celsius, I think the main brunt would be faced by Rajasthan in agriculture, because it is already facing a problem of desertification. Thar Desert is expanding towards the Aravalli. Secondly, sir, about what you asked next, agriculture.
Yes, I asked in terms of the agriculture and the drinking water.
Yes. Sorry, sir. So, in terms of drinking water, we are already in a scarce state of water. So, the groundwater which is present right now, like 2% of the 2% of the Indian sources. So, it would get depleted as well. So, Rajasthan would be at a very severe stage of facing heat. It would also affect heat damage, and heat shock waves would also be there. As right now, in fact, in today's time, in fact, like from March, April, we are facing heat waves in Rajasthan. So it would get severe only.
Okay, so you said that groundwater is depleting, which it is already depleted.
Yes, sir.
So how would this Nal Se Jal program be implemented when there is no water?
Sir, the Nal Se Jal program is envisaged with to have a connection, household connection at 24/7 basis. Rajasthan government has launched various programs like Jal Swavlamban Yojana and Kunda program. So from that side, they are creating various deep trenches and various kunda, in local language we say that, and to restore the rainwater first of all, and secondly, Rajasthan government is also working towards. There is also ongoing work on the Indira Gandhi Canal project, and right now we are right now Rajasthan government is trying to launch program of Eastern River Canal project as well.
Annu, I would like to understand from you,
Yes, sir.
what do we understand by rainwater harvesting?
Rainwater harvesting. The rainwater harvesting is a system in which rainwater is collected and stored.
How do we do it? How do we do it? I'm a layman, I don't know how it's done. Suppose this is a building and
Yes.
you want to ensure rainwater harvesting, what would you do here?
Sir, the main roof is the main part which would catch the rainwater. So the pipes would be connected from the rooftop where there are sinkholes, and those pipes will connected to a main tank which is present, which would be created in the ground, inside the ground. So all the water which is being collected over the roof would be driven to that tank. It is like, this is the simplest model.
You will not take the floor area for the catchment purposes, only the roof, not the side areas and other roads and pavement in the compound
Yes,
for the
sir.
catchment.
Yes,
Will
sir.
you?
Yes, sir.
Come, very good. Now, there is another term that I have heard, I don't know, I've never been to Rajasthan. Bawali, step well.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the difference between an ordinary well and a Bawali?
Sir, ordinary well is that it is dug inside the earth, and the pavement is made on the circular circumference of that dug. But in a step well, it is it may be of the shape of the square or round, but steps are created to reach the bottom of that well.
Good. Now, your knowledge of economics, I would like to understand the impact
Yes, sir.
of fake Indian currency on our economy. You must have heard of Pakistan is printing fake Indian currency notes in Bahawalpur and pumping them into India.
Yes, sir.
What is the impact of fake Indian currency on our economy?
So the main impact which I see is that incursion of fake currency would create a kind of a bubble in the economy, which would disturb the real economic figures. It would create a perception that as if monetary expansion has increased, due to which demand would increase and inflation goes high. So, but it won't be on the real basis, because those are fake currency. So it would give a perception which is not accurate to the economy.
Under these circumstances, how would you compare it with bitcoins? Fake Indian currency, that of course has some kind of a presence that this is a fake Indian currency, like 2000 rupee now. Bitcoin is totally notional.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bitcoin, the main implication of Bitcoin is that only that it is highly volatile. Its value keep changing. So it would.
What is the notional value? How is it fixed, and who fixes it?
Sir, can I take a guess? I'm not sure about the answer, but I think demand and supply.
And I will go to the next question in that
Yes,
case.
sir.
Don't you worry. I see that your mother belongs to Karauli, and Karauli is now known in the news for.
Communal violence.
Yes. So, can you explain? Rajasthan is a very peaceful state. You normally don't hear of communal violence in Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
And this has happened in a place, Karauli. Can you tell me the genesis and what could the administration have done better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you firstly tell me, was the administration wanting in anything, or do you think it could have been handled better?
Sir, Karauli is facing communal violence. The main reason was that a rally was conducted by the Hindus in occasion of a new Hindu year, Vikram Samvat 2079. So as the news are coming, they are. It is not clear which section started pelting stone or which section aggravated the situation, but so the main reason is that only the clash between Hindu and Muslim community over the celebration of the Hindu year. They were conducting their rally through the Muslim area, and from there it has been reported that Muslim started pelting stones, and because the Hindus were putting some calling some nara which were very offensive for their religion. its administration has taken steps. They have implemented Section 144 and imposed curfew. It was, sir, in my opinion, I think the steps was right. The other thing which administration can do from its side is that prediction of such a if such an event is going to happen in near future, or to clarify the area from where the rally is going, and to make sure that rally does not that religious rally does not get put such types of slogans and nara which basically incentivize the other section to create violence.
Okay, my last question on the same subject.
Yes, sir.
A bigger embarrassment has happened in Karoli, that the station house officer has lodged an FIR which states that XYZ is responsible, and prima facie conducted himself irresponsibly. But the DGP gave a press conference which is in total contradiction to the FIR. Under these circumstances, FIR given by the station house officer and the DGP are at contradiction.
Yes, sir.
Now, how would you feel, or what can be done to ensure proper damage control under these contradictory situations? One is the FIR and the other is the statement of the DGP, both on electronic media.
Sir, if such a conflicts are occurring between the reports given by the personnel, so in my opinion, I think an independent committee could be created so that proper investigation could be conducted and the real root of the cause could be found.
Yes and no, thank you.
Well, I see that you are an economics postgraduate.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about what is the problem Sri Lanka is facing on economic front. Why is there a downslide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sri Lanka is facing a economic crisis. There are various reasons to it. Firstly, that their economy has been mainly dependent on the tourism or primary sector, agriculture and allied sector. Since it has started its journey of economic independence, it has been hugely dependent on primary sector. That's the one reason. And second reason is that the global financial crisis which occurred in 2007 and 8, global financial meltdown that occurs, so it has not been able to revive itself from that shock only. The third reason I think is that pandemic, which has created a huge shock for the world and Sri Lanka as well. It was already facing huge crisis on the front of fiscal deficit. And the last reason, which the recent occurrence is that the banning the fertilizer and banning fertilizer to promote organic farming. It cannot be done overnight basis. So the policy which were given in Sri Lanka, which were given by Sri Lanka government, that were not that much thoughtful, I think, with a long-term perspective. So that.
Sorry, have you finished?
Yes, yes.
Don't you see any China factor that Sri Lanka walking into a debt trap, as it was in the news?
Yes, yes,
But
yes. Yes,
isn't
sir.
it important?
Yes, sir. It is important.
No, whatever you have listed, don't you think China factor is very important? Because you say that the pandemic is a worldwide thing. It has affected all the countries.
Yes, sir.
But the economic collapse what Sri Lanka is facing is absolutely of titanic proportions. It is almost literally begging help. There are protests, the president, prime ministers, etc. are under siege. China factor I thought was important, but anyway, you don't feel that way. And you tell me something you have mentioned about Kathak.
Yes, sir.
So, when was Kathak originated and from where?
Sir, Kathak, the word Kathak means Katha. Katha is story. So in earlier times, in a Vedic time, when the ballads and the groups of the people used to travel here and there, so they used to sing a story, tell a story. So that their storytelling took a form of singing, and from there Kathak originated. The main origin of all the dances are from Bharatnatyam. There is one book I cannot recall, भारत मुनि की बुक है, उधर से वो originate हुए हैं सारे classical dance. So from there Kathak has originated.
Haven't you heard about Wajid Ali Shah contributing to Kathak?
Sorry, sir?
Wajid Ali Shah, the Nawab of Awadh.
No, sir,
contribution, you
I
have
am not
heard.
aware of it.
Okay. Tell me which Kathak legend passed away recently?
Sir, Birju Maharaj. Shriman Birju Maharaj.
Birju Maharaj.
Yes, sir.
And name two prominent living Kathak legends in India.
Sir, one is Guru Gitanjali, and second is Guru Dhatiji.
Guru?
Dhatiji.
What about Saraswati Sen? Have you heard of her name?
No, sir.
Saraswati Sen is the most important and direct disciple, and who is the one who has written about it. Why I am mentioning you? Because you have written Kathak as your, so you should be. Anyway, coming back to something on current affairs. Have you heard of Kashmir Files?
Sir, I have heard of Kashmir Files.
Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
Do you think, in your view, the tax waiver or waiving of the taxes by some governments is justified, or some governments had allowed their government servants to go and watch it? They've been given leave. It is okay, you think? What is your personal opinion?
Sir, in my personal opinion, it is not okay, because it somewhere it creates a tendency of communalism in the country, giving a particular movie tax free, that promoting their agenda. We have freedom of expression, but the special privilege which is being provided by government to influence the society by revoking the taxation, I don't think so it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Women literacy rate in Rajasthan,
Yes, sir.
definitely perhaps the lowest in the country.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason? What could be the reason in your view?
Sir, there are various reasons. First is on social front, the main reason is the child marriage and the dowry system. Cause the girls get married at very early age, they could not able to gain the proper education. And secondly is that girl is considered as the economic burden, so family tends to arrange her marriage as soon as possible. On social front, these are the reasons, and on economic basis, Rajasthan is mainly driven by primary sector.
Has Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao
Yes.
Scheme or Andolan, they called Andolan also, has it contributed in any way in improving the lot of women in Rajasthan?
Sir, I am not able to recall the exact statistics, how much it has improved, but yes, it does have its. There are various other schemes as well related to scholarship, which are being given to girls, giving scooty and giving scholarship in monetary terms. So that's it.
Now tell me what two things you like most about farming in Rajasthan, agriculture in Rajasthan.
Sir, one is that Rajasthan is the highest producer of millets, bajra, which is in itself is a very healthy cereal. And the second is that Rajasthan is a producer of mustard and other oil seed. It is one of the highest producer of oil seeds as well. So these are things actually.
Okay. This malnutrition continues to be a serious problem.
Yes, sir.
Because we have made progress on other socio-economic indicators, but somehow malnutrition still is hurting us a lot.
Yes, sir.
Even in the recent global hunger index, we have slipped down in our position internationally. So, what as district collector, of a district where malnutrition is a quite a significant problem. What action would you take to address this problem?
Sir, in my opinion, the main cause of malnutrition is that the women itself is very malnutrient. They are not, it is being passed to generation. It has become a generation wise problem. So on my front, I would make sure the work which is being conducted at ground level by Anganwadis and ASHA, that is their nutrition under nutrition program which are being implemented by schemes and government. They are carried very smoothly, and my main focus would be on the women. They could get proper nutrition by these channels, Anganwadi and integrated child development schemes, and the second step would be related to children. Their midday meal, like Rajasthan is not providing eggs and other protein rich food. So I would inculcate these protein rich food in the midday meal schedule.
Okay. You tell me which part of our economy, which sector of our economy has been most resilient during this COVID crisis, and what are the reasons for that, which has shown positive growth despite 2 years of great economic disruption?
Sir, agriculture sector.
Okay, so what could be the reason, possible reasons?
The first reason is that after lockdown, during lockdown, the labor moved towards again rural area. So they did not have option to work in the secondary sector, in informal sector. So they went back to their lands and they started working on agriculture. And second is that manufacturing sector and service sector, these do have very large chains of backward and forward linkages, which was affected by pandemic. So in their place, agriculture did its.
My last question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think India can possibly play a role of a mediator in this current Russia-Ukraine war? Are there any factors, circumstances which favor India for that role?
Sir, Russia has been our all-weather friend of India. But on same side, India has always taken a stance for human rights and territorial integrity and sovereignty. So these, the foreign and diplomacy of the nature of the Indian foreign diplomacy, that provides an edge to be a mediator between Ukraine and Russia crisis.
I will carry discussion on your optional subject economics.
Yes, sir.
So, can you differentiate between a recession and depression in terms of economy? I'm talking about economy depression and economic recession.
Sir, recession is the process of business cycle going towards a negative growth side. Depression is that stage where we have reached the negative growth. That the path which we cover for depression is that is recession.
So in post COVID-19, we saw Indian economy going into recession.
Yes, sir.
So can you recall prior to COVID, when was Indian economy in recession?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able.
So let me tell you, it was in 2008.
Okay, sir.
So do you have any idea why we went into recession at that point of time?
Sir, it was due to global financial crisis which occurred from the US side.
So,
Lehman Brothers.
Can you differentiate between the recession which India faced in 2008 and now in 2020?
Sir, the recession which we faced in a global financial crisis 2007 and 8 was related to an economic factor. This recession which we faced was related to a biological factor, and this time the recession was from the supply side. Supply side faced a huge setback, but in 2007 and 08 financial crisis, it was from the demand side. There were very high demand. due to the bubble which was created by the 𝐂𝐄𝐄 case.
Okay. So FDI is very important for a country,
Yes, sir.
whereas we are also focusing on promoting Atmanirbharta.
Yes, sir.
So tell me how FDI will be managed with Atmanirbharta.
Sir, Atmanirbharta is basically being a self-reliant country, but that does not mean that we should sideline the FDI, because the FDI investment basically brings technology from the other nations, which helps in becoming us self-reliant by adopting those technology, and it also does provide employment to our economy, so it does increase the national income as well.
Okay, Anu, why you are so keen to join civil services?
Sir, as this service provide a platform to a person to serve a society, and it is the, I think in my opinion, it is the service which is a combination of job security, respect, and and along with that it does have a diversity in its job nature. So that's why I want to join civil service.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So Anu, the last question I would like to ask would be from a topic which you will choose.
Sir, agriculture.
No, if you have nothing in mind, then we may not ask also. We have done our
Sir, I
questions.
think I have given from my part.
You're fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you, Anu.